Live. Oh, run for your life. Yeah. Sorry, guys. How's everybody doing out there? Morphin and Kid here, back again. Welcome back to another comic review. Still doing the comic reviews on my main channel. Soon it will go back to Comic Central. Yeah, I changed the name of my comic review channel. It's called Morphin and Kid Comic Central. Basically, it's comic reviews as well as comic related news, things like that. Now is also on that channel. So how's everybody doing out there? Hope everybody is well. As always, you know my slogan. So I'm here to review the books that came out, the last books for the last week of August. Yeah, I'm a little behind, but don't worry. As you can see, guys, right here, I have my books for this week, and I'm almost done, finished reading. Yeah, as you can probably see, Alters. That was really good. Well done, Mr. Uh, Jenkins and Miss Lees. This was good. I'll get more into my review on that later on this week. But we're going to review the books that came out that I have for the following week. I got only one DC that week, Marvel, and once again, a ton of indie, including one back issue that I wanted to review as well. So let's start off with the one DC I got, and I've been telling everybody, I've been getting messages on Twitter and everything like that, always asking me, how is that book? Is it really good? And the book they're talking about is, ta-da, yeah, Future Quest, uh, by Jeff Parker. This is issue number 4 of the. Basically, it's all the Hanna-Barbera adventure superhero classics together in one world or universe, all coming together. And there's Johnny and the gang are still trying to figure out. They're still trying to help Jan. She's lost her memory in some way. Dr. Zen is still doing his temporal experiments. They also have Birdman. He's like a special agent, which is really cool. In this one, we get to see My Tor. I was like, oh, not only did we get to see My Tor, we got to see Dino Boy and Ugg, which is really cool. What is even cooler, we got to see a backstory with another classic, and that classic is none other than Frankenstein Jr. Okay, Buzz. I'm sorry. But this was really good. Once again, Jeff Parker's, you could just see the love that's being put into this book. Now, I didn't grow up with a lot of these cartoons, but thank God I had a father that did. And so when he introduced me to these, I was all over it. We even get a little tease of the Impossibles. Rally ho! I'm sorry. This is just really, this is just a fun series. I actually put this on a poll for a friend of mine. One of my Probably one of my best friends here on YouTube. I actually have this on his poll, and I'm about to send it to him soon. But this was really good, very good. Didn't want to spoil too much of that, but that's pretty much the gist. So let's move on to the Marvel. And we're going to start it off with all new Wolverine Annual #1, Taylor Takara. Um, this is all about basically. I kind of looked at this as almost being like the somewhat comedic version of the body Attack of the Body Snatchers. Gwen, Spider-Gwen, and Laura here get their minds swapped into each other's bodies. So Laura's in the body of Gwen, and Gwen is in the body of Laura. And they say that this story takes place before Civil War or something like that. And it's pretty interesting. It was funny. It was cool to see the two interact. These two female heroes who have gained a lot of popularity. Laura has already had the, excuse me, she already had the popularity, but now that she's taken over her father's legacy, her popularity has really risen, and Gwen's, has risen too. Some of the funniest things were Laura, you know, always, breaking glass and breaking things. I remember, don't want to spoil too much, but basically there's a scene where she and Gwen are together, and she's like asking Gwen, like, how strong are you? Like, because she keeps ripping doors off and things like that. It's really funny. Um, Laura, Gwen is always asking Laura about, claws, and I love the scene where she asks Laura about the claws that come out of X-23's, Laura's foot, and she says, "How does that feel? What does that feel like?" and things like that. And the concept is basically, it's kind of a revenge story. It's kind of a revenge story, and it all goes back to actually a story arc, a Wolverine story. It goes all the way back to, remember this story arc, ladies and gentlemen? Enemy of the State. Remember that story arc? It goes all the way back there. Someone from a family member of a hero that Wolverine killed is involved in this. Who it is, I won't reveal. Even though this has been out a week, I'm still not going to reveal. You just got to pick it up for yourself. The one more spoil I will spoil. Gabby was funny. She even donned their pet Wolverine. I'm forgetting his name, in a mask and everything. It's stupid, but the one thing I thought was funny is here's Gwen, and she's confronting the person that did this to him, and she's like, "You better change me," and everything like that. And you got Laura in the back saying, "Hey, get your hands away from your face like that." Shink. It was, and the she's like, "Oh my god!" Like, okay, hold on. Basically, Gwen had her hand so close to her face, so when the claws came out, shink. And it's funny because you hear Gwen talk about how, when she gets hurt, she's like, man, I can actually feel bones mending back together and stuff like that because of a healing factor. I was like, that was cool. This was fun. This felt more like a special than an annual, but I still enjoyed it very much. This was good. Good job, Mr. Lopez. I mean, excuse me, Mr. Taylor. I'm sorry. I apologize. Um, uh, Spider, Amazing Spider-Man 735, I believe. Slot, Saliva, Silva. You know what? Whatever, man. Like, I'm sorry, guys. Look, Spider-Man is my number one hero, and it's very, very hard for me to see the flagship title of Spider-Man in this where it is now. It's almost like anytime I'm looking over my poll for next week or so in Spider, it's almost like a battle, a war with me. Do I pick it up? Do I not? And there are times where it's almost to the point, it gets me to the point I nearly cry because I don't want to see Spider-Man like that. Slot, sorry, you got to get off this book. Bottom line is Max Dillon is dead. There's a new Electro, a female that Max was dating. She killed him. Prowler is dead but brought back to life. I'm spoiling the shit out of this, okay? Prowler, you kill off Hobie Brown and then you bring him back, now working for the fucking Jackal. A villain I can't fucking stand. I hate him. I wish he was dead. And now, and I was so interested in the Prowler book that's coming out later. I still am, but now to know that's involved in it, it drives me over the fucking roof, and I can't. And I'm like, you know what? Get that man off this book. I'm tired of it. That's not Spider-Man to me anymore. I'm. Oh my god! I can't believe I just said that. Oh my God. I can't believe I just said that. I can't believe I just said that. I can't believe I said that. We got to move on. Um, I'm sorry, guys. Oh my God. I can't believe I said that. All right. Astonishing Antman, number 11. Spencer does a good job. This is basically more of a recap of, once again, of, in the beginning now. Now we're kind of caught up on how Scott is in jail, and he's telling us, but he's talking to somebody. And you see Scott telling how he's getting along in jail and everything like that. He's doing this all for his daughter. He's keeping his little girl out of trouble, and all the people that was in his life in the series come to visit him. Some, a lot of them don't like it, and and including She Thing or Miss Thing, or I'm trying to remember, his ex-girlfriend from Future Foundation. But she's saying, it is kind of my fault and everything like that. But this is basically what's Scott's life in jail. And we get to see the lawyer he is talking to. That lawyer is, I'm not going to ruin it for you. You got to figure it out. I can't believe I said that. I can't believe. Guardians of the Galaxy, number 11. Bendis. This is basically the Guardians dipping their hands now into the Civil War after getting the call from Carol. Carol tells them what's going on. Thing gives a very passionate speech of why he kind of left, and the fact is, once again, now we're back in another Civil War. Thing doesn't want to do this again. He once again he's gonna be fighting friends, and it's like, I don't want this. But in the last issue of Civil War, we saw Thing with the Guardians, so it's just like he doesn't want to do this, but. And then, of course, there's a secret that Carol is holding from the Guardians, that they have Thanos locked up. And Peter tells Carol tells Peter tells Kitty, and Kitty even says, you gotta tell Drax and Gamora, don't hide this from them. And it becomes a very big dilemma. Um, Kitty at one point is trying to get in touch with the X-Men. She can't get in touch with them, things like that. But this was a big dilemma on the part, and the solicitations of the next issue screams like there's going to be a fight between Carol and the most deadliest woman in the galaxy. And guys, if you keep seeing me look down, it's down there, and I'm every time I look down there, I keep I'm going back in my mind. I can't believe I said those words. That hurt. That actually hurt me to say that. It it really did. It's like that was like a knife to the heart. I can't believe I said that. Spider-Gwen, number 11. This was good. Latour Rodriguez. Um, how far is Frank Castle willing to go? What is he willing to do? Gwen is up Shit's Creek without a paddle. She's waiting on options. She doesn't know what to do. She's trying to figure out things in her head. Should she just run away with her father to Earth 616? She's thinking that. But she realizes that she has a responsibility, and that responsibility is doing the right thing and facing her opposition, and her opposition happens to be Earth 6-5's version of the Punisher. This was good storytelling. Very good. You had to feel for Gwen in that very much. Spider-Man #7. Bendis. Pilanchi's not on this. It was Leon. Um, this was pretty good. Miles is having nightmares of the Vision with the Hulk. Miles' parents finally talk about what happened between Miles' mom and Jessica Jones. But one thing that caught my attention is when they said Jessica Jones is a mutant. No, she's not. She's not a mutant. Where'd that come from? Uh, there's a very good interaction between Miles and Bombshell in this. I thought was cool. Uh, and then of course the ending was really cool. I did like the ending. Let's just say a couple came looking for Miles. Who is it? I don't want to ruin it. Sorry, guys. Spider-Man 2099, #14. Uh, Peter David. The year 2099 is not what it seems to be. Uh, After the last issue, Miguel is at the hands of Gallows, the Punisher of 2099. He gets a little help from another 2099 version. Who is it? I won't spoil it. But we see 2099 versions of some heroes. We see Iron Fist. We see Daredevil. We see Doctor Strange again. And we see Moon Knight. And Namor and Hercules and a couple other people. And they're getting Miguel and as well as Captain America up to speed on what's going on. Why um, heroes are like outlawed and everything like that. But it was that freaking fucking that ending caught me good. All I'm gonna say is the ending, the people responsible for why this is happening. We get to see who they bring in to help them deal with Spider-Man and the gang. And man, it's older versions of a certain pack. Think about that word, what I just said. Older versions of a certain pack. Yeah, this was typical Peter David with the great cliffhangers. Star Wars Han Solo #3. Marguerite Liu. Yeah, this was still fun. And Mark Brooks, good artwork. Art Brooks artwork was great. So the race has been halted thanks to the Empire. And pretty much it's almost like, why is the race being halted? Because the only reason why Han is involved in it because he's supposed to ship somebody out, sneak somebody out for Princess Leia. But the opposition comes in, stops the race, then it gets started again, things like that. And it seems like everything is going to go well. You know, everything, mission is going to be complete. Everything's going to be fine. However, forget that because somebody comes a-looking and aboards the Millennium Falcon, comes a-looking, not for Han, but for Chewie. And that right there, ladies and gentlemen, is where I end it because I was like, okay, Miss Lou, I like where you're going. Hit me with some more. Besides, I'm a big Marjorie Liu fan, so. All right, let's move on to Thunderbolts. What is this? Number 4. Yeah, it's the Thunderbolts versus the Squadron Supreme. It's almost every super team or heroes are facing the Squadron Supreme. And this time around, the Squadron feels that the team has a weapon. They don't. They're talking about Kobik, the little girl who is actually a sentient cosmic cube, and they come. And you see the team pretty much battle to keep Corbett safe and battle for their lives. You know, the Squadron, you know, they don't take a lot of shit, and you know they've already shown they're willing to kill. And you just see them really just doing their doing the best they can. And at some point you can see like the tide start turning for the Thunderbolts in terms of them losing. They're getting overwhelmed, and Moonstone, that stupid little, she does something. She gets Kobik involved, which Bucky doesn't want her getting involved, but she does, and she does something really cool. That was, yeah, that was like, that was pretty cool. But all I will say, she didn't hurt anybody like she's done before. Um, but yeah, not bad at all. And Jim Zub still does a good job of writing. Malene's artwork is not bad. Um, not bad at all. Thunderbolts number 4, or I could say it's Thunderbolts 100 or 200. So I don't remember I lost count on the original number. All right. Uncanny Avengers number 13. Dugan Stegman. This ties into Civil War. Ulysses has a vision about Cable. You know, Ulysses is becoming more, not like an oracle. He's becoming more of a snitch at times. I'm like, you got a vision over that? Like, you're a snitch. But he tells Cap that somebody basically tells him that somebody on the Unity Squad is there could be some dissension on the Unity Squad of the sorry guys, this is uh the Unity Squad of the Avengers. And we do get to see that who those two individuals are, and I was just like, why? I'm not gonna. I'll ruin one of them. Cable is one of them. It is true about Cable, but the other one I'm not gonna ruin because I'm heated at that one. Really, and to find out who they are teaming up with even made it even worse. I'm not gonna ruin a damn thing. I was just like, you gotta be fucking joking with that. Uncanny Avengers number 13. Oh yeah, there's also another thing. And yes, I forgot to. Deadpool tries to break out Clint out of jail. Does he go? No, he doesn't. That's all the Marvel. All this is indie books. So we got some from Boom. We got 2 from Coffin Comics. 1 from Dynamite. 1 from IDW. 1 from Image. 2 from UDON. And 1 from Zenescope. Alright, so let's start off with the Boom Here comes the boom. Ready or not. How you like me now? Yeah. Number 6, Power Rangers. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, number 6, Kyle Higgins. This is good. This is this has been one heck of a series, ladies and gentlemen. Only 6 issues in, and man, it's getting good. You talk about the Rangers fighting an opposition that they seem to be unable to defeat. This is the issue, and it gets, and almost like the 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 tables, the decks keep getting stacked more and more higher to the point where you're like, oh my God, like, will they survive this? I don't want to ruin anything with this. I really don't. The main story is what I really cared about, which is great. I don't really care for the Bulk and Skulls story as much, but the main story, ooh, and that ending, ooh, yeah. Do yourself a favor. If you're a Power Ranger fan, pick this book up. All right. This is a back issue because I wanted to read this finally, and Midtown Comics was sold out for a while, and then they finally got a shipment in. They finally got it back in, and I was able to get it. And it's from Coffin Comics, and I want to make sure I get everybody who worked on this because I freaking loved it. So forgive me when I pull it out, but it's the story is by Brian Pulido. Pulido. I hope I'm saying your name right. I want to give credit to everybody. It's written by Mike McLean and illustrated by Joel Gomez. And what is it? It's under Coffin Comics, and it's entitled La Muta. I hope I'm saying that right. Which basically in Spanish means dead woman. Get a look at that cover. It's a beautiful cover. So, what is this about? La Muta #1 Descent. So basically, to give a big kind of summarization of this is her name is Maria Diaz, I believe that's right. Yeah. Yeah, Maria Diaz. Yeah. And let me make sure. Yeah, Maria Diaz. She's a former soldier, U.S. soldier, just came back from tour from Afghanistan. And this is basically what if the Punisher had boobs and a and pie, basically, and was Latino. That's basically it. But the storytelling is really what really grabs me even more because it's not just it involves a little bit more than just what happened to Frank Castle and kind of what happened to her, Ms. Diaz. There's some symbolism to when her family was killed. That's what really drove the. I was like, whoa, okay. Her her family was killed on the Day of the Dead. That's a famous holiday that's celebrated, and their family is killed by this bloodthirsty cartel that they're sick. They're crazy. They're sick. Like to send they're led by this even sick woman who seems to know her bloodline. Her bloodline goes all the way back to her like Aztecs, and one of her rituals is her cartel basically. Anybody that steals from them, anybody enemies, she cuts the hearts out of them and keeps them in like canisters, like as trophies, but it's also a means to gain their power. It's very gets a lot really deep into that, and I was like, whoa. So what happens, of course, is Maria she dons this look like she's dead, like basically literally saying that Maria Diaz is dead, and now Muda is the only thing left. And it is a revenge kind of story. And once again, it's told through the eyes of how far is revenge? Are you, is one, is she, is basically the point of, is Maria blanket, blanketing justice for revenge? And it's played up a lot in this. And her revenge kind of escalates to the point that it gets even crazier. I mean, she starts taking out this cartel like it's nothing. I've felt a little bit of also uh uh Lamar Macchiato, Once Upon a Time in Mexico, all those, Desperado. Also I felt a little bit of that vibe as well. You know, Definitely Punisher, but it was good. I was really, and this is a thick book, and for this was an $8 book. I'm not even gonna lie. Yeah, it's an $8 book, but it's really thick. It's kind of thick. You can see it kind of thick. Um, and this was just one story, and her revenge keeps going, which was really good. I very much enjoyed this. And so very much big credit to everybody who worked on this, which leads me into the next one, which is called La Muda Last Rites, issue number 1. And I got the Grindhouse edition cover. I thought that cover was badass. I was like, ooh, I got to get that. And so once again, what looks like Maria has finished off everything. The opposition, she's done. Things start escalating to the point where people that she cares about, her identity gets publicized, and Mama Z, that's the leader of the cartel, sends her men out to those she loves, and those she loves get killed, and she realizes to the point like this is not going to stop until they kill me or I kill them. Seen this kind of storytelling before, we have, but it was really good. And it's not like, even though she's a soldier, it's not like she's just this badass that doesn't take damage, or she's going to impossible odd, but she's coming out unscathed. Hell no. She takes a lot of physical but also mental damage as well, and it's very, very well done. uh, um, then there's this great fight between her and Mama Z, which was fun to watch. Um, and I love the ending because she let one of Mama Z's boys go because she's like, I'm gonna give you a head start, um, give you a head start to run away, but later on I'm coming for you. And I love how she at the end she tracks down that guy she let go. She's like, hey, I'll even like here's I'll show it to you. Here it is right here. She's like she's like She's like, "Hola, Diablo. Remember that head start I I gave you? It just ran out." It was cool. um, this was a cool 2-part story. Um, if you are interested in this is under Coffin Comics. I must warn you guys. I must tell you that it is pricey. It's $8. This is an $8 book. Um, I'm not gonna lie, but if you're into, if you like Punisher, you like you like Desperado and seeing a strong female character, you'll like this. So big thanks to everybody that worked on. Once again, I want to thank you, Mr. Brian Puledo. If I butchered names, sir, I apologize. Mike Michelin, and artwork by Mr. Gomez. Beautiful. This was fun. All right, so let's move on to Dynamite, and we still keep it kind of badass, and we're moving on to James Bond, number 9. Ellis and Warren Ellis, Master, still doing a good job on this title. MI6 is under attack from inside and out. Um, and it's getting to the point now where it's coming to the point like, who do you trust? And it gets even to the point where other agencies are kind of overstepping their boundaries or believing that they have jurisdiction, one being including MI5. And I love that scene where the MI5 agent comes in and everybody's on edge, like they pulling out weapons, and and she's kind of talking to M, and even Monty Penny had a gun. I was like, the fuck? Like, I was like, oh man. And at one point she gets too close to M and everybody's just on edge. They're like, you see one guy pull out a knife, hit a knife, and Bond, and she's like, you let us do our job and everything like that. And Emma's like, we can't let you do that, things like that. And she keeps edging a little closer to M. And James comes and is like, she's like, so what do you want me? She's like, well, as a first right now, you need to edge a little bit back from M. And why did I do a British accent? I don't know, just but it was really good. But of course, M sends Bond into a mission to kind of investigate something that needs to be investigated, and it gets really hairy from there. But the fact of the matter is, MI6 is under attack, and go from there. Good job, Mr. Ellis. Very good. Let's move on to some IDW. Ooh, yeah. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Universe. Here it is, number 1. Yeah. I'm a big Turtles fan, guys. You all know that. First of all, this cover by Freddie Williams II. Fucking love that cover. That is beautiful. Um, this is written by Altor and Eastman. There's 2 stories in this. This is up there. This is a $5 book. I'm not gonna lie. Um, so the first story involves the team keeping an eye on April. April goes into try to get help from Baxter Stockman. They're trying to enlist the help of Baxter Stockman into what some new things are coming. And you see the Turtles talking about that, Lee, especially Raph. It's almost like, yeah, things are changing, and we got to keep our A game up because new enemies are keep coming. And boy, do they come in this. And we also get to see that there is a secret opposition group led by somebody that we all should be all familiar with, Agent Bishop. Yeah. We get to see a new mutant in this. And I'm not talking about from from Marvel, but we get to see a new mutant who is a Scorpion. I love the scenes with April and Baxter Stockman. She really kind of put Baxter Stockman in like a bitch move. Like, she was like, when Shredder tried to take over Splinter, killed him. Where did you go? You ran. When Krang came and was captured by the neutrinos, where did you ran? And now it's like, now you're running it. I was like, man, April had a set of what on her. And he's like, Baxter kind of tried to get man up, like, yeah, well, you're alone now with me, what you gonna do now? And it was just like, man, April can bitch slap you around, Stockman. uh but that story was really good. I love the ending. That was really seeing the desperation with Raphael. I was like, wow, Raph, that scared, like almost you saw fear in Raphael. I was like, whoa, okay, that's good. The second story was written by Eastman, and I believe it was written by Eastman, and involves Leonardo, and he's ambushed, and it looks like everything's going well, but then it turns out not. This was good. I very much enjoyed this. I'm glad to see IDW has given Turtles another series. I tried the all new animated adventures. I kind of fell off of it, but this kind of is expanding the current universe that's going on in the original series. And when I heard they would get, I was like, I'm on board. I got this is on two friends' pull list at Midtown. Um, well, one, because I'm assuming the other friend picked this up, and that's Blue Goblin. Like I said, probably one of my best friends here on best friends I've ever had made on the internet, on YouTube. But this was really good. Let's talk about goodness. Lazarus. Number 424, Roca, Lark, Greg Roca. That's for you, sir. This continues to shine. The lies may be coming to an end, and they are finally being exposed now to Forever. The culling is coming, and Forever now knows what she perhaps already knew. She already knew, but now she knows that everything that was said to her in that phone, that text message, is true. And man, it was a serious like shock for her. Lazarus 24. Damn good. A series I've been reading since issue number 1. Good stuff. Alright, so let's move on to Street Fighter Legends. Cammy, number 2. Jim Zub, once again, writing. Yeah, good stuff. And Omar Dogan and Ken Sui Chang. Edward Huang. I hope I got all those names right. I hope I did. As you can see on the cover, that beautiful Genzoman cover, Cammy versus Jedi. Yeah, there's a Jedi's in this. She's fighting along with Crimson Viper, and Cammy is trying to keep her gal, June, Junie, but she's now being controlled. Junie was also a former doll, and we also get DeCapri in this as well, and another doll, one of Bison's dolls, one of his assassin dolls that Cammy was once or two, and that's pretty much it for a while, uh, and Cammy is just trying to keep her one of her people, um, from falling down that path, but she's so under control that she can't. But she does capture DeCapri and Crimson Viper. But we find out, of course, as you all know, Crimson Viper works for the CIA. She's that good to stay undercover, and they have to let her go. But they don't let DeCapri go. But if DeCapri is so in berserk mode, they can't really, talk to her, interrogate her. But I love there's a part where the doctors evaluate DiCapri's brain patterns, and they find out that her, Junie, Cammy, everybody who their brain patterns are so similar. It ends with a kind of a twist. Somebody that just made an appearance in the latest Street Fighter is in this. Who is it? I'm not gonna run, but it was good. This was really good. Um, and then of course the next we get a little bit more of a sneak preview of the mini series that's coming in December, the Street Fighter versus Darkstalker. This time we got Donovan from Night Stalkers, the second Darkstalker game, Night Warrior, excuse me, versus Goki Akuma, and that was pretty damn good. I thought that was really cool. We also get to see him become Oni Akuma, but this was good. And to keep it in Udon, we move on to Street Fighter Unlimited, number 9. Ken Sui-chun, Joe Huan, Chris Mori, and Hanzo Stegbach. I hope I got all those names right. Once again, the Genzo covers are beautiful. You got, in this, it's Necro. Excuse, I'm almost forgetting his name. And his sidekick, the girl he likes, she's just as strong and nuts as he is, fighting at Alex. Looks like, and then of course we find out that Alex could be related to Urine and Gil somewhere down the line. I'm like, okay, Alex don't really care, but he realizes he gets a little bit of a in 411 on what Gil's true plans are for this whole tournament and what he plans to do to humanity and lives on Earth, innocent people. And it does involve Ryu, and it does involve the Hado no Satsu. And we see Gil, he really wants that power. And Gil tricks Ryu somewhat to kind of forcing it out. Ryu's been trying so hard to control it, trying so hard to fight it, turn it into something good, like his master, the power of nothing, that he's, enlightenment. But Gil basically makes one of the 12s, remember 12 from Street Fighter 3, disguises himself as Akuma, and Ryu right away knows it's not Akuma. After that, they test each other out for a while, and he's like, Akuma would never get this tired so easily. And he easily is like, who the hell is this? And it's there. We start to see Setsu come out. And Kennen Sakura's like, just happening. Oh no, he's losing it. And that's how it ends. It ends with Ryu going fully evil Ryu. And I'm just like, no, Ryu, don't do this. Like, he's talking now. It's really like Ryu is not there anymore. It's somebody else. And I don't want to see my boy Ryu like that. I don't. But this continues to be really good. If you're a Street Fighter fan, yeah. And there's also a backstory, another great backstory. This time it's involving Sagat and his former protege, Adam. And beautiful interior dialogue from each side, which was really good during their fight. I loved it. All right. And last but not least, we are on Zenescope. And we are on Grimm Fairy Tales Apocalypse. Number 1 of 5. Pat Shant, Miranda, JG Miranda does the artwork. So Pat Shant brings his talents back for Robin. It's always good to see him back on Robin Hood. But this time around, it's not just Robin Hood. It's Marion, it's Hellchild, it's Leslie Van Helsing, it's Cindy Monroe, aka Cinderella, the version of Cinderella, in this. And they're basically trying to stop the Four Horsemen Apocalypse coming to Earth. And there's a lot of... it would go to seem that Marion and Robin are not on speaking terms right now. Like, they haven't talked to each other in a while. But the concept is not to stop them from bringing the apocalypse. And looks like things may be going their way, things may not. There's some oppositions that may have not, that they have not may have calculated to happen. But Pat Chant does a good job writing this, and it ends on a great cliffhanger, and it's almost like a oh shit moment. This was really good. Like I said, it's good to see Pat Chant writing the character again. All right, y'all. I'm gonna end it right there, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. Trust me, guys, I will be back later on this week with the books that came out for September 7th this week. Like I said, I've finished reading Alters. This was good. Also finished reading Frank Cho's Skyborn. This was good too. Um, and haven't, but I'm almost done. But like I said, guys, thank you for watching. Once again, once the review October comes around, my reviews will be back on my main on the comic channel. But this was this was basically to kind of get people, comic fans who read comics that are on my main channel, over to over to my comic review channel. That's what this experiment has all been about. But also, always those people that are on that channel, I'll leave a link where you can watch the review. But once again, other than that, guys, this is Mount Vernon Kid saying peace, one love. Stay tuned. I, 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 it's still on the floor, guys. It's right by my foot. This Amazing Spider-Man, and I can't believe I said I'm gonna, once this is up, I'm gonna go back to that and probably loop what I said. And every time I loop it, every time I hear that from my own voice, it's gonna be like a just knife shot to the gut, because it's just, I never would have thought would say that about Spider-Man. Like, I'm really want to drop this book. It's to the point where it's a thing of being loyal, but then there's blind loyalty. But the thing is also, I'm a collector as well, and I like to have each issues. But it hurt. It did. It hurt, guys. And needs to be a new creative team on that book. I swear. I've heard Slotch say Dead No More is his last. I swear on my mother's grave, if that is not true, I'm gonna be pissed. Y'all take care. I'll see you guys with another review.